So we're just 1 week out from the release of the finale of Black Ops 6 Zombies, which is called Reckoning. Now, I want to make this story explain video and kind of give my thoughts and predictions on the story so far. And we have a lot of things to go over because everything is going to converge in this map. I honestly feel like this is the map where they need to set a precedent for the story because not only this map is ending off Black Ops 6 in a huge way, it's also setting up the future for Black Ops 7. So you are going to need an interesting story to lead into Black Ops 7. You're going to want to capture the attention of the casual zombies fans, the hardcore zombies fans as well, and you want to get them to Black Ops 7. You just don't want to fail the ending in Black Ops 6 and just have no one move over to Black Ops 7. So let's discuss this story. So first off, the lead-in, right? Let's talk about what happened in the previous map. So obviously we made our way towards the mansion, and the mansion was home to liminal spaces where we can charge up the Sentinel artifact with Prima Materia. Once we do all of that, we end up giving the Sentinel artifact to the Sam AI, and she betrays us. We knew she was going to betray us since the Liberty Falls intro cinematic, and we were just waiting for that moment in time that she was just going to pull out that card and just walk away with the Sentinel artifact. So she sends us off into a liminal space with Richthofen, and we break out of that liminal space and we fight a dinosaur. And from there, after the battle with the Z-Rex, we learn from Richthofen that Sam is trying to become Samantha Maxis. Samantha Maxis sacrificed herself back in Forsaken, and we don't know if she actually went inside the dark ether or she was merged with the Forsaken while he was getting sucked into that containment chamber. And that containment chamber is going to be super important. Bear with me. So from there, that's pretty much what happened to Samantha Maxis. We're not super sure if she's in the dark ether or she's in that containment chamber. But overall, the same AI wants to become Samantha Maxis. So she's making her way towards Janus Towers and she's going to use the Ethereum reactor somehow alongside Prima Materia in order to do that deed. And our crew and Richthofen are making their way there as we speak. So that's pretty much the lead up into Reckoning so far. So let's talk about the different plot lines that are going to converge here. Let's talk about the Liberty Falls plot line. So far, there's only been one map with John Blanchard and Panos. In Liberty Falls, we go for the entire Easter egg trying to stop the outbreak with the LTG device, following the instructions of Blanchard and Panos. And at the end of the Liberty Falls Easter egg, we complete that, and Panos basically reveals his true intentions, and he basically swaps places with the strike team. So now the strike team is trapped inside the dark ether, and Panos is now free, and he is on his way to Janus Towers. As we know, because Blanchard stated that he got notice of it, Blanchard is also making his way through Liberty Falls. Liberty Falls is completely changed. I don't know if we'll see that in Reckoning from a distance, how like Liberty Falls got completely changed due to the dark ether incursion and such, but Blanchard is making his way through to get to Janus Towers. So we're gonna see Blanchard and Panos make an appearance on that map, some shape or form. Now, the interesting part about the Liberty Falls story is that there is another plot line being built up in the background. So as we go for that Liberty Falls Easter egg, Panos starts talking to someone in the background. We don't know who it was until Shatterville Intel revealed that he's been hearing these voices, and eventually we come to learn, due to that intel, based on the name, because the name is called Shadow Benefactor, that intel basically tells us that he is talking to a Shadow Smith.
You came to me again, my friend, my benefactor, my salvation. Time is strange in this place. A moment ago, I was in the church. A moment ago, he was here with me. In another moment, who knows? Like the director, he came with promises, power, forbidden knowledge, a reckoning for my enemies. But unlike the director, his mastery of the dark ether is real. And what's more, he promised me a way out. When I return to the world, I will be his agent. The future he speaks of, the one we will fashion together. I can hardly wait. In only a moment, we begin.
Now, you're probably asking yourself, what the hell is a Shadowsmith? I've not heard this in Black Ops 6 Zombies. Why is this name important and why are other people bringing it up? Well, this is a whole new concept that was introduced in Modern Warfare Zombies. Modern Warfare Zombies obviously takes place in the future in 2021, and it set up a whole plot line with Ava Jansen and an older Ravenov, and basically their goal was to stop the outbreak in Urzikstan due to Zakayev unleashing a vial. And I'm going to bring up the vial as well because Jesus, there's a lot to talk about with that as well. But that unleashes an outbreak in Urzikstan. So that entire story was trying to stop that outbreak in some shape or form by fighting an entity who is basically like a copy of Ava Jansen, but born at the same time as her in the dark ether. So it's basically like her twin, but it's like born inside the dark ether. And obviously, as we go through the story, we learn that Ava Jansen is the daughter of Ravenov and Samantha Maxis. And then from there, at the end of Modern Warfare Zombies, while we fight the entity, she tells us that there are people looking for Ava Jansen, which are called the Shadowsmiths. And then at the end of the Modern Warfare Zombies cutscene, we see a Shadowsmith appear in a mirror, and that mirror also has the background of Shattered Veil. And at the end, Ava Jansen gets pulled in, and another thing to mention is that Ava Jansen at that time was in Liberty Falls, and even Ravenov warns Ava Jansen to not even be in that area because he knows how bad that area is. So there's a lot that's going to be revealed, and I feel like in Reckoning, Ravenov is probably going to learn why Liberty Falls is not the best place to be, and that's why he warned Ava, but Ava got pulled into the dark ether by either a Shadowsmith or maybe, Samantha Maxis. We don't know. We don't know who it was. I'm going to go with Shadowsmith still because that's the whole concept that was introduced in Modern Warfare Zombies. And, the fact that they were saying, like, hey, they're looking for you, Ava, and she gets pulled into dark ether, it's a pretty clear indicator that it's probably a Shadowsmith. So the Shadowsmith, this is the person that is talking to Panos. And one of the interesting things is that within that intel that I was talking about, the Shadow Benefactor intel, they talk about a reckoning for my enemies. So they basically teased reckoning within that intel, the name, and we didn't even realize. So Eric loves to do these little details and such, and this is one of the reasons why I love their stories so much. Is that they have a lot of details placed that don't make sense at the moment in time when you read them, but when other stuff comes out and you look back at it, it makes complete sense. They basically set up a whole arc with the Shadowsmith in Black Ops 6 Zombies in the background. So this is a whole different story. So this is for like people who really like are diving deep into the story, and this is going to be like their big payoff compared to like the current story where we're going up against the Sam AI. That's like the the present story. That's like the story that's in the front, and that's for like the casual viewing audience. But obviously we care more about the entirety of the story. So that's where we're kind of at right now. So there's been a lot of stuff set up from Modern Warfare Zombies to be present in Black Ops 6 Zombies. A lot of us thought it was going to be paid off in Liberty Falls, and we thought Ava Jansen was going to appear in that. But the crucial thing about that ending for Modern Warfare Zombies is that Ava Jansen states that it is a localized incursion in Liberty Falls. So she's not talking about the town itself. She's just talking about the entire area. So that entire area of Liberty Falls is dealing with the incursion. So that's why, Shattervale has zombies. That's why Janus Towers has zombies. And that's why, obviously Liberty Falls has zombies. And this whole story is taking place within Liberty Falls. So we're finally going to see, why Liberty Falls really is such a dangerous place and why Ravenov was warning her. And I feel like in Reckoning, we might even see Ava Jansen. And I think that's going to be such a huge, huge, huge surprise that we see her. And I think it's going to make for an interesting story. Now, let's talk about the containment chamber that I was talking about earlier. So, the containment chamber that's containing the Forsaken and possibly Samantha, that's not confirmed, but we just know it's the Forsaken so far. We always thought that the Sam AI ball or like herself was that containment chamber and it was just updated to look different. But what's crazy is that within the Wonder Weapon teaser for Reckoning, in the background, you see that same exact containment chamber that was in Forsaken. So that basically confirms that the Sam AI was never combined with the Forsaken at all. And that's not even the orb that was from Forsaken. It's a whole different thing. And the Forsaken orb was at Janus Towers the entire time. Now, I don't know if that means Zykov slash the Forsaken is still in that orb. I don't know if there's a possibility that maybe the combination of Prima Materia, the Ethereum reactors, Forsaken, that combination is the thing that makes Samantha Maxis, and that's what Sam, the AI, wants in order to become her. There's also this other thing. What if we defeat the Sam AI pretty quickly? I think this is going to be like a two-part Easter egg, right? Part one is obviously dealing with Sam. And I feel like she's about to complete that, but we defeat her. And then comes Panos and the Shadowsmith. And basically everything was set up just for them in order to do whatever the Shadowsmith and Panos wanted to do. And I feel like that is the true meaning of reckoning for the map. So we don't know what the Shadowsmith is really doing, right? Now, they also have Ava Jansen in possession. So is it possible that Ava Jansen gets pulled through time, is brought into this map, and the Shadowsmith ends up doing whatever they need to do with Prima Materia, the Forsaken, and the Ethereum reactors, and it just creates something even more deadly than we think. Who knows if he wants to bring back maybe the multiverse in some shape or form, because so far the only two dimensions that we know of is obviously our present dimension and the dark ether, and we don't know if there's any alternate timelines, alternate universes and stuff in the story yet. They've been dabbling a little with time travel, but they haven't really fully gone into it. And I feel like if Ava Jansen comes back, that's all like a whole paradox in a way. It's kind of interesting to see like how Treyarch is gonna play out this story. And I think it's like the most unpredictable point of the story. Because so far everything has been predictable. Because from Citadel to the tomb, we know we were getting the artifact, and then we knew that we were gonna give up the artifact to Samantha, and we knew she was going to betray us. So far, the lead up has been pretty predictable, but the ending is so unpredictable. And a lot of people are saying, like, oh, but Modern Warfare Zombies kind of spoiled the story. No, I mean, it only shows the fate that was destined. Like, Forsaken literally showed us that the crew was going to end up dead in the future if they defeated him, and that ends up happening. So we just see that, the destiny of the crew just came to be. but we don't know how they ended up in that position, or we don't even know if they're actually dead. Because another theory that I was coming up with is that the crew is going to be in Black Ops 7. And one of the maps in Black Ops 7 is taking place in the heart of the Dark Ether. Now, obviously, the heart of the Dark Ether sounds like the most powerful place in the Dark Ether, and honestly, I don't think any normal human can get to that point. So, what I assume happened to the crew is that they gave up their essence in order to enter the Dark Ether, and at that point, they're going to get to the heart of the Dark Ether by giving up their essence and becoming souls within the Dark Ether. It just makes more sense like that to me. Now, again, I know people are saying, oh, but it's going to be the OG crew. I don't think so. I think it's going to be the same crew that we have right now. And they're just going to do that, give up their essence to get to the heart of the Dark Ether. And we also know that they were dying to Ethereum exposure, and basically they had to like do something beforehand. So in 1996, Gray records that video for Ava Jansen to let her know the truth and such. And from there, the crew just ends up dead. And I feel like they gave up their essence in order to go to the heart of the Dark Ether because they got to do something there after the finale of Reckoning. So that's a whole thing that I feel like could be like the post-credit scene of the cutscene in Reckoning. I think we're gonna see a time jump to 1996, and we're gonna see that happening. I think that's going to be the lead into Black Ops 7 Zombies. Now, the final thing, I know I've been yapping a lot right now, and trust me, I mean, this story is so interesting, and I can talk about it for hours, but let's bring up this image of the gray reward skin for the Reckoning Easter egg completion. She has two vials on her character. Now, the thing with these Easter egg reward skins, they kind of spoil a little bit of the map. If we're gonna assume that, Treyarch is gonna put, you know, a little spoiler on these Easter egg reward skins and such, these two vials connect to Modern Warfare Zombies. When Zakayev goes and gets the vials in that secret room in Urzikstan, there was two. Now, I theorized this in the previous video. I'm not sure which video I was. I did a couple videos, but I think it was the story behind Prima Materia. And in that video, I made the prediction that maybe at some point we're going to be combining Ethereum and Prima Materia together. And that's why in Modern Warfare Zombies, the way you see that outbreak happening is the same way that you saw how Prima Materia kind of formed the chaos maps in Black Ops 4 Zombies. So I made that connection, and I said maybe at some point those vials are going to be a combination of Ethereum and Prima Materia. And the fact that Gray, the skin, has two vials exactly like that, and it's exactly two because in the Modern Warfare Zombies cutscene, there's only two vials. There's only two. I feel like those are the exact two vials from Reckoning. And I feel like now in Reckoning, we're gonna end up, creating those vials, or, we're gonna, protect those vials because they have something in them. We just don't know what it's going to be in those vials, but I feel like it's a combination of Prima Materia and Ethereum, and they're going to play a huge role into the lead up for Black Ops 7 Zombies. So it might be connected with my other prediction that, the crew needs to get to the heart of the Dark Ether, and maybe those vials help them, extract their essence or allow them to transport into the heart of the Dark Ether. Because, I mean, Premium Materia and Ethereum combined, and it could also have the power of the Forsaken. There's a lot at stake here. There's a lot. And, you know, I love this story. At the end of the day, I love this story, and there's so many little details that I'm just looking at every day. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is this ending going to lead to? What is it gonna pay off and such? And I hope I presented my findings pretty well. And yeah, honestly, let me know what you guys think about the story, you know? Let me know your predictions and stuff because I love listening to everyone's predictions. I love talking about this story. So I am super excited to see the ending for Reckoning, and I can't wait to see, how this all leads up to Black Ops 7 and how it all pays off for Modern Warfare Zombies because I've been waiting a year. I've been waiting an entire year and I need it already. I need the payoff. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is all. I know I yapped a lot, but just drop a like and comment and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.